What happened to our favorite Central Perk patrons after the series wrapped? Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're asking where the Friends characters are now. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this video, we're playing out a what-if scenario and imagining what might have happened to our 6 best friends after the series finale. In case you don't remember what happened in the show's last episodes, let's give everyone a little refresher. Chandler and Monica head to the hospital to welcome their adopted child, twins, and pack up the contents of the New York apartment where so much of the show took place.
This was your first home, and it was a happy place.
Rachel is leaving New York for a new job at Louis Vuitton in Paris, but at the last minute changes her mind and gets off the plane to be with Ross.
You got off the plane.
Joey has a new chicken duck to keep him company, and Phoebe is happily married to Mike. So what happens next? Since there haven't been any official follow-ups to Friends aside from the Joey spinoff, we're able to let our imaginations run wild. Speaking of Joey, let's start with him. He's actually the only friend we get to actually see after the show wraps up. His self-titled TV series shows the actor trying to make it in LA after years of struggling in New York.
I think I like LA.
I thought you and Chandler should have moved out a long time ago. It's a very vibrant gay scene.
Chandler and I are not a gay couple!
We have a feeling that Joey would have stuck it out in Hollywood for a few years, and even found some success. While we doubt he would have ever made a name for himself starring in critically acclaimed films, we can see him being a fantastic host on a game show or reality show.
Let's play bamboozle!
Once he was a big enough star to have a say in which city he called home, we can't imagine he'd stay away from New York for long. We figure that today he'd be bi-coastal, and that Chandler and Monica would have made good on their promise to have a room in their house for Joey to grow old in.
I get my own room?
You don't think we'd buy a house and not have a Joey room, do you?
Oh my God!
While he might not have had kids of his own, Uncle Joey would be the one Monica and Chandler's kids went to when they wanted to eat junk food or do something they knew their parents would say no to.
Can I have an aquarium and a sex swing?
No.
Why not? I'll keep the tank clean.
Now what about Phoebe? The final season of the show saw her finally finding love in her perfect match, Mike Hannigan.
But now I'm standing here today, knowing that I have everything I'm ever gonna need. You are my family.
We can say without a doubt that these two would still be together, and that they'd be getting more and more delightfully weird as a couple every year. In the penultimate episode, they decided to have children, who we imagine would be just as creative, offbeat, and whimsical as their parents.
Oh, we can teach them to sing and we can be like the Von Trapp family! Only without the Nazis, although that sounds kind of dull.
In terms of Phoebe's career, we have a feeling that she would have finally gotten her big break on YouTube. The video sharing platform launched shortly after Friends wrapped, and once she started uploading videos of her performing wonderfully bizarre songs, we can't imagine they wouldn't go viral.
I'm in the shower and I'm writing a song. Stop me if you've heard it.
Sure, maybe people would be laughing at her and not with her, but considering the sponsorship deals she'd get for products like odor-eating kitty litter, we don't imagine she'd mind.
Smelly cat, what are they feeding you? Smelly cat, smelly cat.
Let's move on to Monica and Chandler. While their relationship isn't always smooth sailing, these best friends turned husband and wife would make it work no matter what life threw at them. They might bicker from time to time, but in the end, there's no one else they could imagine being with. Their twins Jack and Erica would be in middle school at this point, so that would present a whole new set of challenges for Chan and Mon as they began the journey of raising temperamental preteens.
Oh, I'm just sorry I'm not gonna be around to watch you two attempt to handle this.
The house they bought in the show's 10th season would serve them well for several years, but we think they'd eventually have to build an addition to it as they continue to adopt more kids to expand their family.
I'm really glad I picked you guys. You're gonna make great parents. Even Chandler.
Monica might take time off to focus on the kids for a while, throwing herself into motherhood in the hyper-organized way she does everything. But she'd soon no doubt continue her career as a chef from the suburbs. Once the twins were ready to head to preschool, Monica could begin the process of opening her own restaurant. which we bet would quickly become the top-rated foodie destination in Westchester. Chandler didn't exactly get his career path figured out until pretty late in the series. By the final season, we saw him as a junior copywriter working in advertising.
Cheese. It's milk that you chew.
Yeah, we know Chandler's job now. We think he probably found his niche and would have moved up the food chain in his industry, with his trademark sarcastic sense of humor guiding the way. Today, he'd have made a name for himself on Twitter because of the so cringy they're funny dad jokes that he writes every day.
The phone, bringing you closer to people who have phones.
Marriage. It's not for everybody.
In fact, we think it's even possible he'd have been asked to assemble his best tweets into a coffee table book that'd be sold at Urban Outfitters. No doubt Monica and Chandler would host Thanksgiving dinner at their place every year, and it would continue to be just as zany as it was on the show's run.
I'm just so happy you guys are finally getting a kid.
I know. Have you considered pageanting?
Last but not least, there's Ross and Rachel. We spent the entire series wondering if these two would finally end up together, and thankfully the show's writers made sure they did. Rachel memorably got off the plane, and the rest, as they say, is history.
It's you and me, all right? This is it.
This is it. Unless we're on a break.
But what exactly became of Ross and Rachel's relationship? Did Rachel give up her dream job in the fashion capital of the world to be with him?
You should go.
What?
It's what you want. You should go.
We have a feeling that once they decided they were going to officially become a couple again, they'd try to make the long-distance thing work for a while. As soon as the semester was over, Ross would spend the summer in Paris with Rachel and Emma. As anyone who has tried long-distance relationships knows, however, they can't last very long. So once Rachel had built up her reputation, she transferred to the Louis Vuitton office in New York. She might stay with the fashion house for some time, but we imagine she'd end up working with several other major fashion labels before getting hired as the head fashion buyer at Barney's. Since Ross is a tenured professor at NYU, his career would pretty much be a breeze from here on out. He'd travel as a guest lecturer to different schools around the world, probably revisiting his fake British accent at Oxford.
Right. So when Rigby got his samples back from the laboratory, he made a startling discovery.
When Rachel came back from Paris, we have a feeling she and Ross would have been ready for a move to a new neighborhood, and we can't imagine any other place than the Upper East Side, where Rachel could have an address befitting her position in the fashion world, and where Emma would have her pick of private schools. Born in 2002, Emma would be well into her teens, finishing up at the Dalton School just around the corner from their house. Not wanting Emma to be an only child, we imagine Ross and Rachel would have had another baby after getting married again. A little boy who Ross somehow managed to convince Rachel to name Darwin.
Darwin.
Oh my God, our child will be beaten to death in the schoolyard.
Check out these other great clips from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.